Hey, our 3-minute pose breakdown for the day is Chaturanga Dandasana, or four-limb staff pose, also known as high push-up to a low push-up. Alice here is going to help me break it down for you. You see this in a ton of classes, especially a vinyasa or a flow class as a transition. In an ashtanga class, these happen a lot. And if you do it incorrectly or in a way that puts stress on your shoulders or on your wrists, you could cause potential injury. So we'll talk you through some of the things that we see in classes and some ways that you can do it a little bit more safely, protect your body, and a fun little trick we'll use at the end that will help you feel just the right spot you need to go down to. So we're gonna have Alice start standing at the top of her mat. Since this is a transition pose, you'll see it moving in class. So we'll pretend like we're flowing. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, step back to a high plank upper push-up. So we're gonna hold Alice in her high plank upper push-up. And this is really the pose that'll start your foundation for Chaturanga. So you wanna be strong here. If it's too much to hold, you can always drop to your knees and do your Chaturanga on your knees. But Alice is really strong, she's good. So you see her shoulders are above her wrists, nice stack here. Fingers are spread really wide and she's pressing into her fingertips. If I try and lift them off the mat, I can't. That's gonna take some weight off of her wrists. Core is engaged, it's a big core pose. Back is strong, legs are really strong, so everything is active. Probably starting to shake, it's a little bit long. And her heels are lifted nice and high. So that's gonna be the first step to set it up. So let's see a nice Chaturanga. You're gonna inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway, hug your elbows in. Inhale, slide forward to an up dog, roll your shoulders back. And exhale, downward facing dog. That looks pretty good. Now we'll show you some things that we often see. So back to your high plank upper push-up. You kind of know the distance. See how she went straight from downward facing dog to her high plank? That's how far you want your hands and feet apart. So a lot of times people are going to collapse in their low back. This is going to put a lot of strain in your low back, strain on your neck. No good. So think of lifting. Sometimes people collapse through their shoulders. This is a hard one to demonstrate. Yeah. And you'll see their scapular, their shoulder blades kind of lift up. So think of lifting your core, find that nice long line of energy. And then in Chaturanga, people don't often do or sometimes skip the shift forward and just try and lower halfway, which is gonna feel weird. See if she can lower. Yeah, so see how again, her shoulders are crunching up toward her ears. She's got this dumping in her low back. So come back up. If you need a break, feel free to drop to your knees. You're good? Okay, cool. And then a lot of times what people do is lift their butt really high. So do your little shift forward and then try to Chaturanga with your butt really high in the air. It's gonna feel really awkward. Yeah, so they wanna do this like chest dip wave thing. Same thing, you can see her shoulders are crunching up to her ears. That's gonna put a lot of stress on her shoulders and her neck. All right, and then the last thing that we often see is people dipping their shoulders too low. So they're gonna end up going below their elbows. And this is gonna put stress on your rotator cuffs. So Alice is gonna shift forward and then she's gonna dip really, 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 really low. And see how her shoulders are below her elbows. So this may feel normal or it may feel okay, but if you do it over and over again, this is what's gonna cause some injury here. So a fun little trick that we like to use to find the perfect Chaturanga is to use a strap. If you don't have one, you could try like a tie or a scarf and wrap it really tight. We've already measured this for Alice, but basically you're gonna wanna put it right above your elbows and keep your arms just as wide so that they can hug your ribs. You don't want it super wide. Let's make sure that's the right size. Or super tight. You're gonna place it right above your elbows. Is that good? Maybe a little bit wider. So you can always loosen it. So when she gets the strap on, she's gonna come back to her high plank and upper push-up. And what the strap is gonna do is as she shifts forward and lowers to Chaturanga, it's gonna catch her right at her ribs so she doesn't go too far. She doesn't do that dip. So we go to high plank, upper push-up, do your little shift forward, and then exhale, Chaturanga. Nice. So see, she's got her shoulder and her elbow in line, her elbow above her wrist, maybe come even a little bit more forward. On your tippy toes, yes, nice. So you're finding this nice 90-degree angle. That's where you want your Chaturanga to be the safest, to build tricep strength, the core strength, leg strength, to make this pose something that you can continue to do without injury. You can slide forward to up dog. The strap is kind of nice for that too. Roll your shoulders back, open up your chest, and exhale to downward facing dog. Couple breaths here, pedal out your feet. And then if you want, release down to hands and knees. That's Chaturanga. Hopefully the strap trick helps for you. Try it at home. Let us know if you have requests of other poses you'd like us to break down, and we'll see you on the mat.